if you count all these images that go across, each particular image is a build with another build with another build, and each color, and it fades into different, like darker green, a little darker blue to it, and lighter blue, and then even a different color of blue. And that to you may look all blue, but there are many different shades and different angles going in. And this is a head with an eye and a mouth, and there's an eye, a nose, and a mouth, and the arm wraps here, and another arm wraps here, and the body comes around, and it changes. This changes many a times. It comes into a different face. It comes into his looking of the skull that so happens to be in the Mona itself. And let me show you the Mona right here. It'd be in this image right there. And let me just go a little larger. When it's turned for you to see, if this gets flipped, it comes out to be this. But then again, it may not have to be, because he uses the black. Now, I've seen the most gorgeous, gorgeous black, all black Mona Lisa in a portrait. And people say, how can you see a completely black portrait? Well, there's many different shades of black. And here's a real good way of trying to explain it. When you want to find something, he uses a crow. And what is a crow anyway? Sometimes he aims the crow with the beak towards the direction of whatever he's drawn. And he'll put it in there as a hint. And but what is a crow when you see him outside? All black. But you see all the shades. Well, why don't you just see a black dot? Well, you got a black dot with black legs running around. Yeah, you see the many different shades on a black crow. Well, that's how it comes out. Now, this whole image turns into many different items. There's a face, this is whole body, and then when you flip it each time. But that image is actually approximately right here on my woman, the more mature Mona Lisa, the lost painting that's been found. And you cannot see it with the human eye. You can't even see it with a magnifying glass, a regular loupe. And I even bought a $15,000 surgical microscope. Couldn't nick it. So I had to have it really shot with a super high-end photo imaging. Now let me see what this looks like. I'm curious what it looks like if I flip it 90. It's been a while. So we're going to see it together, okay? Actually, I'm going to flip it 180, excuse me. Whoops, wrong one. Apology. Okay, so put this over here, put this right here, and we touch that right there, and go over here, and go to rotation, and we're going to shoot it 180. And let's see what happens. See, look how big it is. I might have to shrink it to find it, because it's... Now, these photo shots, to let you know, it's not just a shot from one whole area. It was shot 719 photo shots alone, approximately the size of an average person's thumb. And then they're blown up. I mean, these are made to go deep into the photo. So this is upside down. And this is the image. And if you actually take a look at it, it resembles this image, and I would bet that this image is this image, and he would be using some of this black along here. He'd be using either some of this black, or he'd be using some of the inner and eliminating it. And they fit. Now, if you actually look, here's a guy with an eye and a top hat. and there's a face aiming this way, and he comes down. Kind of reminds me of the Monopoly Man a little bit. Let's see. Let's just see if at the top it would be right about here. It should be right about here. It looks like a guy leaning right in here. Here's kind of like a guy leaning right in here. Okay, but let's see if he's in that area. Let me blow this one up. And I never did. Well, I know that it kind of looks kind of. Well, I do see some squares that I would have to get into it. Here's a square. Here's a square. Here's a bigger square. Okay, but so that's where your thing is. You have to stare at it and get into each detail. And the Mona I do not have a very good image of. They've altered and tried to hide a lot of the Mona. And they don't want people to know what paintings are out there. They really don't. See this right here? This streak? It runs right here with this face, and it runs down in here, and it comes back up like this. And then there's a person that comes here. That might even be that right here. See? This person that comes up right here, comes on down, goes around. See? Those things cannot be seen by a person that is trying to do a fraudulent painting. Nobody would spend 55 solid years to fraud a painting, let alone know the information in it, and let alone, on top of that, have the equipment that I have and spend 10 hours a day for 5 years studying alone before he would be even starting to pick up a brush to copy his work. This has to be done by the same person. Okay, it has to be. It's just unbelievable. And if Leonardo da Vinci did not do my painting, okay, then my belief is Leonardo da Vinci did not do the Mona Lisa. Somebody better really prove it to me that it's not so. Now I want to show you this rod that comes down here and then it V's. If I flip it around, see, this is going to be funny. When I flip it around, it's going to look like a Y. Okay, and when I watched a show, it was a pawn show. It was talking about this Indian man that came in, and he was talking about how he wanted to pawn his it was like a dream catcher, but he never seen one before. And out of this dream catcher, there it is. Out of this dream catcher, the guy claims it's what you hang over a doorway, and it is a little bit different than a dream catcher, but in a similar of a good feeling. It's supposed to mean harmony, and I do believe that's what he represents in some of his paintings that he does. So he's got harmony. Now, before I click out of this, I'm going to open this up a little bit more, and I'm going to show you the stars. Now, you're going to be a little bit blown away on the sense. While he's playing writing and he's writing, there's words in these. Each one of these is words within words within words, and they change in every depth of every, like 10 different builds and such. Not only is he making cartoons, not only is he writing a letter. Not only is he enjoying his art, if you see some of these, they crisscross, they crisscross, they crisscross, they crisscross. So what he does, he writes over his letters. He writes over his words. And these are words and music. He's playing music. So it's 7:44 right now for me, and I'm getting tired. I have rheumatoid arthritis, and I'm sitting here working 8 hours a day for you folks. And I just want to let you know that I believe in God, and I hope that I can bring a little bit of shine for somebody and knowledge, and saying, you know, I don't know how to fake any of this stuff. I'm only showing you what I see. And I got many, many more images to show you. I could tell you I got things in here. Let me just kind of generally show you what is still to come about. I got images here that are, I'm going to zip this one out, that will get you into, this actually says May 2nd, okay? This is 1519. I'll get into that another time. And it's actually when he died, and it was used as a registry. I got right here, see, this one. This is actually, I call it the Last Supper. And it's got a cartoon over here. And this is Jesus right here. When I go to blow it up, I'll give you a quick look at that. It's really cool. It's one of his ways that he was thinking about doing the Last Supper. But as you can see, look at the colors, okay? And he's got the disciples that go all the way around. I'll get into that. I mean, here's a cartoon dog, watch. That's a cartoon dog with a cowboy he made with a hat. But each individual that goes in here, each individual of every single little thing, there's a piece of art, piece of art, piece of art, piece of art. So all these little images in which I'm showing you, to the best of my knowledge, every little dot is unable to be seen by the human eye. It has to be opened up by a very, very high-end camera and equipment. And they don't mean to pick on them if they know what they've been doing, in the sense of getting into it. One camera does not work. That's a promise. I got like 30 different cameras, and each one, even the worst one, shows me a great deal. Like, let's say it frosted. Watch this. I'll give you an example. Let's say this was a beautiful photo of a $100,000 camera, and I shot it. See how it changed when I just hold the top? Watch. Do you see it light up with the dots? Those little dots tell you where the dots meet in his overlays of his different imaging. And sometimes the camera would even get worse and blurrier, kind of like a TV not coming out to a good reception, like my father was a television repairman. Again, rest his soul. I love my father. I'll see him one day. Now, I would like to say, I'm going to close out and say, God bless. Please subscribe to my YouTube. Give me a thumbs up. Pass it on to your friends. I need to get this out there for the world to see. I've put my heart and my soul and my whole life income into this. Obviously, I'm not into money, or never would have done this, but I do need funds to survive, and I'm hoping the world can see the truth and see what I'm trying to show. Again, God bless, and have a good night.